So there's no question that the FTX situation this fall has changed the trajectory of regulation in 2023.
I think the focus on crypto regulation is going to be higher than it's ever been before.
2021 was the year of NFTs, while 2022 ushered in the crypto winter as well as the downfall of big companies in the industry. Will 2023 be the year of regulation in the crypto world?
At a certain point, governments were going to say, hey guys, we need to regulate this a little bit.
Further regulations and safeguards you think need to be put in place?
This Bitcoin business, which has basically been used and abused by the worst actors in society.
As the conversation heats up, what could be the outcome?
Is this the Lehman moment for crypto?
So what more can be done to protect consumers?
The bankruptcy of Terra, Celsius, and especially FTX further complicated an already difficult year for the crypto ecosystem and set off all kinds of regulatory alarms. What will be the role of government in preventing such disasters? Is mass adoption possible without state backing and regulation? Are governments around the world even prepared to regulate crypto? And the most difficult question, how could this all affect decentralization?
I think across the board, whether it be Congress or policymakers at regulatory agencies, I think there is a huge interest in preventing what happened with the FTX from ever happening again, particularly here in the United States. However, there are so many new policymakers that are now thinking about crypto policy for the first time that I actually think what happened with the FTX has the effect of slowing down new regulation and legislation as opposed to speeding it up. Prior to the collapse of FTX, there was a very kind of small defined group of lawmakers on Capitol Hill that were interested in coming up with legislation. That number of policymakers has expanded quite significantly, and I think that given that we have all of these new voices that are participating, they don't know a whole lot about a crypto, it's going to take time to get them up to speed in order for consensus to be reached and new legislation and therefore regulation to be enacted.
In the United States, the SEC is evaluating how to start regulating a market that Chair Gary Gensler called a Wild West.
So we have publicly been saying to these crypto intermediaries, they might call themselves crypto lending, they might call them crypto exchanges, these crypto intermediaries, in essence the casinos, if I might say it again, to come into compliance with the law.
The first big question is, what will happen to the companies that left behind millions of victims in 2022? The SEC sued Kim Kardashian for promoting Ethereum Max during the 2021 bull market, but has come under criticism for missing the alleged fraud at FTX.
I think the focus on crypto regulation is going to be higher than it's ever been before. But I think the general course of that, of the government's approach to regulating crypto isn't going to change much, given the fact that the FTX debacle was not a failure of crypto or the underlying technology. So I think the thrust of the debate will remain the same. It'll just be more urgent and universal.
Meanwhile, in Europe, the situation is not entirely clear. Legislators have been discussing the MiCA law for more than 2 years, and it will be challenging to implement.
Implementation is a few months, if not a couple of years away, unfortunately. But be it as it may, this can in any event only be a first step.
The proposal will be voted on in April, and among other things, it includes requiring stablecoin issuers to have enough funds to prevent a repeat of what happened with projects like Terra, among other measures. If approved, the 27 states of the European Union will have a unified law on crypto.
I think we're going to see a lot of activity move not only to the other two branches of government, the judiciary and the executive branch, but also to the states. So we're expecting to see a lot of activity at the state level, while we have potential federal gridlock in Congress.
It's clear that the lawmakers and regulators won't look kindly on more failures and collapses similar to what the crypto industry experienced in 2022. It's a new and rapidly developing sector, and governments around the world are closely watching. The question remains, what will crypto regulation look like in 2023? Share your thoughts in the comments.